Hey guys, welcome to week 1 of Thrive, the mindset portion. This is the 6 weeks that we are doing as a complement to the 3M system. Okay, today we're going to be talking about grounding ourselves. Grounding ourselves when we are in a state of dealing with stress, sadness, worry, boredom, whatever it may be. Okay, so specifically here, we're going to be talking about what that means physiologically, what's happening to us, how we're going to deal with it, and the action behind it. So pause me, grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. We're going to keep this really simple and straightforward so you can adapt it into your life right now. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit of background. When we're in this heightened sense of worry or anxiety, or we feel our stress levels are just rising and rising and rising, and we just can't get a pulse on everything that's going on, or we're on the roller coaster of emotion of being like 1 hour like, we got this, next hour like, we don't have this, next hour you're like, I got this, and next hour you're like, oh shit. Okay, excuse my French. When we get into this emotional roller coaster, we automatically trigger fight or flight response mentally and physically in our bodies. Okay, you probably have heard of fight or flight, and what that is a very reactive state, and it's a state in which our body and mind automatically go into protection mode. Okay, because it doesn't, remember, it's very primitive. We don't know, it doesn't understand what's going on. So it's like, why are we worrying? Why is she freaking out? What's happening? Shut everything down, conserve energy. Okay, and when we do that, we right away, when we're in that sort of spiral of emotion, our cortisol rises. Now, our cortisol is our get stuff done hormone, it's our wake up in the morning hormone, but it's also our stress response hormone. And when cortisol is high, our thyroid hormone, which controls and works with our metabolism, is low. Everything slows down to conserve energy, right? And the thing is, when we have this cortisol rising, and we have these thoughts continually going through our roller coasting through our head, what happens is that things snowball and spiral quick. Okay, they just compound and compound and compound and compound, and we can't get a pulse on anything. In this whole fight or flight reactive response, we are also wasting a ton of energy. Okay, and that makes us overall a lot weaker. It impedes our immune system, it slows down our digestion a lot. Okay, what also happens in the fight or flight state that's often not talked about is that we become very selfish. And you're probably like, Moni, I am not selfish. I am trying to get this under control. I'm trying to make this better. This is what I'm doing, X, Y, Z, and I get it. But in fight or flight, we become selfish because our body and our brains are screaming for energy. Like, I mean screaming for it, because it needs it, it wants to figure things out, it wants to become in a comfortable state again, right? So that's where you can get into the cravings, the late night eating, the munching through the day, and sort of all the symptoms that are coming from a fight or flight. Okay, it's just your body being selfish and saying, put energy onto me now. Box of Triscuits does not stand a chance. It has nothing to do with willpower, has nothing to do with not being strong enough. Okay, it's a survival mechanism. So how do we ground ourselves? How do we work with what's going on in this fight or flight that many of us have heard about or even read about or even Googled? Okay, and really it is about transitioning our brain to feeling safe. And when our brain is feeling safe and comfortable, then automatically we switch to rest and digest. okay, what we call rest and digest. And when I say we, I mean like any holistic healthcare practitioner out there, functional fitness expert or fitness and nutrition expert like myself. We talk a lot about rest and digest. And in an over 40 physiology, this is more important than ever because, again, we're not as metabolically reactive as we were in our 20s and 30s. Hence, the weight and the bloating and the energy highs and lows and the hormonal influxes that we feel. So how do we get into, we push that button, say brain, time to be safe and get into rest and digest. 3 things. Number 1, we're going to shift our focus to gratitude. Sounds very Oprah. You're like, It's actually very scientific, okay? Again, so many benefits. You can Google them about giving gratitude and instilling a practice of gratitude. We talk about it in the 3M system, even in the later phases. What you have that others don't right now? What do you have that others don't? What are you grateful for? Here's your action. Put a reminder in your phone, a post-it on the fridge, a post-it on your bedside lamp to remind you every night to think about 3 things that you are grateful for that day. This is a practice that I do with my kids every night when I tuck them into bed. What are you grateful for today? Okay, it takes 10 seconds. So put a reminder on your phone. Start developing the behavior to switch that narrative in your head to gratitude instead of fear, okay? And worry, anxiety. Number 2 is joy. Joy in the serotonin and the response that our bodies and brains go through when we feel joy and happiness and fun and elation is a direct combat to cortisol and stress. And I know many of you think, especially when you come into the 3M, we talk about joy a lot and what brings you joy. You're like, I don't know, because I haven't focused on myself in 20 years. That's okay. Start small, okay? Maybe it's connecting with loved ones. What did you love to really enjoy to do, but then kids and life and taxi driver and CEO of your house kind of trumped it? Maybe it's giving, right? Reaching out to people that are alone, giving more into your community, whatever that may be, okay? Really sit down and try to figure out what brings you joy, okay? Connecting with people is, I think, the number 1 in laughing. So your action for this week is to FaceTime 2 of your best girlfriends that are funny and make you laugh out of the blue. Okay? Just FaceTiming. Don't plan it, do anything, just FaceTime them. Okay? Don't worry about your hair and makeup and all that stuff. Just FaceTime. Maybe they'll answer, maybe they won't. Try again another time. Okay? Laugh, catch up, have fun. Okay? 3rd thing is, especially when we are like currently, if you're either watching this live or you're watching this video later down the road, we're obviously in a pandemic crisis, okay? Whether it being this crisis or another crisis that may happen in your life, a tragedy, a loss, a relocation, something that may happen, trying to limit the external negative sources that you see on social media, see on your phone, read, listen to, hear, everything, see, trying to limit those external sources because our brain is hardwired to go towards what is bad, okay, and harp on what is bad. Because it's a survival thing. It wants to fix it.